When I look back at the things I thought when I was in college, like many of you, I shake my head a little bit. And one of those areas is in my views towards weight training. I was all about free weights at the time, and I still love free weights today, but I was a little too hard on machines and using those in the gym. I was super anti machine, and now I use them a little bit more and maybe a lot more in my own training. So, when we look at free weights, there are so many great reasons to use them in your training, right? They require a higher level of movement competency to be able to perform these exercises well. And so, to be able to master these exercises, we have to have a lot more balance, we have to be a lot more coordinated, and these exercises are going to have more carryover to more sport specific movements, right? An exercise like a lunge mimics a lot of the movements we have to do to decelerate our body into a cut or a plant, for instance. Now, that doesn't mean, though, that machines do not have a place. So, in my own training, for example, I now incorporate a lot of machine work. There is, for one, if you're just getting out there and getting back into the weight room a little bit, there's a lower barrier to entry when you use some of those machines in the gym. Not as high of a learning curve, so maybe it's a little less intimidating when you get into it. Now, I've been training for many, many years, so that's not necessarily the issue I have, but I use it to isolate certain muscles. So, for example, if we have a weakness or a deficit in a certain area of the body, the machine allows us to isolate that specific area to work on that weak link in the chain, as we say, to be able to get it to catch up to everything else. So, one example is when we have our patients that have a knee injury. It's very common that the quads are an area that is a little bit lagging behind the rest of the body. So, in that case, something like a knee extension machine could be really useful to be able to isolate that area and build the loading capacity, right? The amount of stress it can handle, and get it to, again, catch up to the stress tolerance of the rest of the body so that when we go to play, that area of the body is not vulnerable in whatever your sport is. So if you're somebody who is working out, getting into the gym, but maybe you've seen in perhaps CrossFit communities or gyms where you notice it's all barbells and dumbbells and kettlebells, and there's not a machine to be found, and perhaps you're thinking, well, the right way to work out is to only do free weights like this. Perhaps it can be a good time to revisit that, because everything has its place. We just need to figure out where your deficits may lie and what types of machines maybe we can incorporate to accentuate all the great work you're doing with free weights. So when it comes down to, should you be doing more free weights, should you be doing more machines, or only one or only the other? The answer is usually a combination of both, and as always, it does depend on you as an individual. If you are interested in getting some help designing your program and getting into the gym and maybe having a more of a scientific approach to it, contact us. We'd love to assess what you can work on and then design a program that is custom made specifically for what you need.